Welcome to BrickTrains, and I'm Joey, and we're back. It's a Monday, so it's a MOC Monday. And I got a little bit of stuff I want to talk about on the American Freedom Train. I finally put those roof pieces to good use. Also, I'm sporting a Lee jacket here. So Lee has made workwear for a long time. Back in the 70s, they made a jacket like this, very similar. This is a brand new one because vintage Lee workwear is very expensive. Okay, I'll get to the point. I know this is not Lego related. It's kind of related for me for this. So, any rate, the AFT 1, all right, the American Freedom Train 1 engine crew had jackets that had American Freedom Train wrote on the back, and they had a patch, and they wore these jackets, or they had these jackets. Well, I've got the jacket because Lee started selling new ones, and I got a person on Etsy to make the patch, and the company that does our embroidered shirts here, or I don't know, I can't ever get it right. Here we go. That make our embroidered shirts. It's going to embroider the American Freedom Train on the back of the jacket, and I'm going to have a replica of the American Freedom Train crew jacket. I think that's pretty cool. Some of you are probably saying, well, why don't you just buy original or a vintage one? Because you can't find them. There was probably well less than 10 of those made. I'm trying to stick a shirt or a picture of the jacket. Yeah, all of those, I'm sure, are with family or have long since been destroyed. So, all right, let's look at the trains. Let's see what's running. Okay, here comes our AFT1, a Reading T1. We have the second tender in progress, and look at all those roofs on there. Oh, here comes the big boy. Dakota has added a few more cars to the train. That's actually doing pretty good, pulling all those cars. That's a lot of weight for a Lego train. Let's stop the AFT1 here and let's get some closer shots of that roof. So everybody's been following along. They're probably noticing that this placeholder sticker is now on the other side. It has been on the back side. We have the coal load. I'm not sure that was in the last time, but it just sits down in there over the top of the motor. It's just tiled in. Pretty much think I got everything finished. I got my handrails in both sides. I still need a red brick down there. And then we're gonna get some tubing here. I think I'm gonna go with the white tubing. It was suggested earlier to me. We'll go with some white tubing there. I think that'll look pretty cool. And then this is gonna be our water car because the AFT1 actually pulled 2 tenders, and I am using, like I said before, more power functions. So we have 2 motors, battery, receiver, and there's our polarity reversing unit. Same things inside that one. So it gives us 4 motors, lots of power. This is going to be a long train, so we're going to need all that extra power. This is going to be our flag. I had pulled some of these because I had several of these, but it's a square, which is not good for flags. This is the rectangle, so we're going to use it as a flag. And you can see our lights. The flags and the lights would have all been on when it was in display mode or just sitting static for the public to come and view it. Oh, our Freedom Bell fell over. Need to get that all mounted. So these wouldn't have been on there while the train's running, but I think I like the roof. I'm liking how the cars are turning out. These are turning out really well. I think it's finally kind of, now that I'm seeing it with the roof, I think they're how I imagined. Uh-oh. Derailed. Don't push, especially through that switch. All right, so these are the other style car. These are just the windows that would have had just small displays, but there would have been 10 of these cars lined up, and they had the moving sidewalk through them. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do the roof yet. This is just my first prototype. I'm still missing a 1x12 plate. Hopefully that's going to show up soon. Oh, yeah, this one here need the jumpers so that we can put our lights on. We need jumpers in there still, and then some kind of roof vent there maybe. That brings us, let's push these cars down here. Keep going, keep going. We'll go to the other side of the bridge so we can see them. So we got a few pieces I need still for the door. Need to get those open or ordered, and then we'll have the doors, just like these doors. They'll open and close. Got most of the vestibules done. There and there. Notice some have yellow. I don't know if this one's got yellow window or a blue window on the other end. Nope, it's got yellow. Well, you know, this was all done by donations, and the real one, the real American BrickTrain was all done by donations and volunteers, and there were paid staff. There was a staff, but they did what they could with what they had. So some of my windows are going to be that tinted color, the blue. There was blues and greens, and there were some that were kind of yellowy looking, and some of the door handles are going to be different from door to door. I think these, this one here is different than the other end. Part of that is just my necessity on what I have available, what I think is going to look good. Eventually I may put all of them the same, make them all look the same. But right now I know that the original probably didn't have every single thing look exactly, every match, they used what they had. These were a lot of cars that they had got together to make this train and then refurbish and stuff. So they used what they had available, and that's kind of what I'm doing right now to get this. Maybe eventually down the line I'll get it all lined up and everything matching. One of the things I'm not liking, I'm still having to work it out, is instead of making the whole roof removable, which is what I've usually done in the past, I made these sections. Now, so that one's fine. Everything lines up. It sits in there well. This one's not. And I'm not sure why. See how it may just be because that plate's missing. I need a 1x8 plate in there. And maybe not. It just could be a bad sign. I don't know. I don't have any stud holding it down. It is all plated in, or tiled, I should say. It's not plated. It's all tiled. So there isn't a positive hold down there, and I may have to fix it. I may have to change it to a positive hold down. Something else, we're just talking about the windows and the color. I put all clear windows in these. So this was the press car, the tail car, bar car. I'm sorry, this is the bar car, and this is the press car. And I've got all clear windows. I use clear windows. They probably didn't have clear windows. Most transportation has a tinted window, and the reason they use tinted windows was not because they looked cool, but they usually had like a UV blocker so that the sun was not coming in and heating up the inside of the cars. You got to remember, this was back, well, this is the 70s, so these cars were probably made in the 50s, or maybe some of them earlier. I don't know. Yes, they were made a lot earlier. So a lot of these cars were going to be end-of-life cars that the railroads were giving the ATF crews to use, or they were buying them and stuff. At any rate, they had these colored windows. Usually it was a green or a blue color. Most of the time it was a green kind of color. And that helped block the UV rays, which kept the heat down in the car, because the air conditioning was not that great in these cars. These cars were running off 1950s technology air conditioning, and this is, it was new technology to them. So, a little air conditioner you have in your normal car now is probably way more efficient and powerful than what they had in some of these rail cars. So now I'm kind of debating my decision to use clear. I think the clear looks good, but I know in my heart that it was probably more of the blue. And Lego has a trans blue that looks really well, or looks really good in the cars. In fact, let's go look at, we can probably walk over here and look at, let's look at our, here's our Santa Fe Super Chief. Now those are the, yeah, that's the trans blue there. And if you look into the L&N cars that I have, also that trans blue, you can see that kind of carries out. If you look at a Lego model, they're using trans black. I may be looking at a color change in the future for those cars. Probably should have thought of that when I was buying the parts. I don't remember where I bought the parts. Something tells me I bought them from, or no, I think I bought them from Jabo maybe? I don't know. I don't remember where I bought them, but I got a bunch of them. I got a bag full of them still over here. So yeah, it's probably going to change. It's probably going to change. So, all right, that's a quick little update on what's going on in my American Freedom Train MOC. Yeah, thanks for watching. Well, you made it to the end of the line, so it must be comment contest time. Can't make this easy, right? So that jacket that I'm wearing that Lee made for the AFT crew, they make them again now. What is that jacket called? First correct answer in the comments, pin it to the top.